And so I've already went from note making to planning the structure of my writing. Again, when it comes to writing in Microsoft Word online, I've got the dictate tool. So I can simply type on the screen by talking to it. Again, learners can access this with any device that has a microphone enabled, and that could be something that they do more likely at home or perhaps in a study space. Somewhere quiet. Obviously, I think a class of 30 learners all talking to type might be quite noisy. So again, it's about as and when it's appropriate, but that could be really useful. What I've also got added in here, it is available in OneNote too, but it's perhaps more useful here when it comes back to thinking about structuring or writing an essay here. If I go up to View and Immersive Reader, and I've got some options here. The first one, the most important, is that the computer will read the text to me.
There is a cyclical nature to the story.
I can change the speed and the voice here as well.
Story. At the start, the apes.
So I can have the text read to me. That might be really important for going back and understanding it, or checking that your writing makes sense by having it read out to you. That could be really useful. It might be that if there are perhaps notes from the teacher and you come across an unfamiliar word, so again for developing the vocabulary there.
Cyclical.
And the computer again will read individual words to you rather than the whole text. Some other options here, you can change the size of the text. So again, if you've got learners that need large print text, if you give them it in a Word format, online they'll be able to change and edit that to suit them. Again, for dyslexic learners, there's a few different fonts that might be more clear to read. You've got also the choice again for dyslexic or for learners with visual stress, or just because learners prefer it, you can change the background of the page. And the beauty is, with all these changes, as soon as you close Immersive Reader, they're gone. So they don't affect the actual, it's not like changing the page on the document, it's unique to that learner. But if I open up Immersive Reader again, it keeps all of the preferences that I set it to. I think it's some other options in here. I have it broken up into syllables if that was useful. Usually with developing readers, it can help to break things into their syllables to break down more complex words. Or again, if a word that we're unfamiliar with, like rebirthed, I'm able to split it up, and hopefully the fact that they're going to recognise the birthed part with the prefix separated from it. What I notice here is verbs are currently turned on, and it's going to highlight any word that is a verb or could be a verb, obviously depending on the context. I can change that off and change it to nouns. What I found that particularly useful is if I'm looking for my writers to be more expressive and I want more descriptive language in there, such as adjectives. So again, what type of man was he? He was a rebirthed man. And that can be really useful again for them self-checking their own writing. Have they included adjectives and adverbs to make their writing more descriptive, if that's relevant. At the same time, I've also used that with learners to perhaps check the writing in a report that it's plain English and it's factual, and I'm looking for less adjectives and adverbs. I want plain factual statements there. So you can change the colour of those as well to suit the background, so that again, if you don't want to have nouns and verbs both in blue, so you can pick different colours to separate that. And the last one here is, again, you can change the line focus. So in terms of being able to read a text, if they've got to go back and check their own understanding of their own writing, or notes that you've given them, it might be beneficial to just simply read one line at a time, again to support learners perhaps with visual stress or who are still developing their confidence with reading there. It's automatically got a picture dictionary turned on. If I click on a word, it will show me earth here, so it's meaning the ground, and I wonder if I change the capital E, it should show me a picture of the planet there. So there's a picture of a man, a generic picture, to just try and help explain. It's not got one for every word, but these images come from BoardMaker, which is used by quite a lot of learners with support needs to help them understand the meaning of words. So it's really useful that there's a consistency there with what a lot of local authorities use. That again can be turned off if you feel your learners, or they feel that perhaps it's a bit babyish or they're too mature for that. They can turn off the picture dictionary and that's gone. And the last wee bit with Immersive Reader here is if they speak another language, you can have either the whole document translated or just by word. So perhaps I've got a learner who also speaks Arabic, it might be their first language. It will show you the word in English.
Rebirthed.
and also in Arabic.
الذي أعيد ميلاده.
And again, you can change the pace of the reading if you feel that that's
الأرض.
hard. So you can hear the word in Arabic
Earth.
or in English, and again, when I turn off Immersive Reader, it's all gone. So that's some of the useful tools there by Microsoft Word.